Hey guys, welcome to AdCast. This is our July edition of AdCast, and my name is Nicholas Lorden.
And I'm Syletse Porto. Welcome back. Thanks to have you. Tonight in this segment, we're going to be speaking with Davie and Ken Evans, and they're going to be talking to us about their IdeaField company and give us more insight into that. So if you could, just tell us a little bit more about IdeaField. What is it?
IdeaField is our local name for a co-working effort. Co-working is something that's taken off around the country and actually around the world for freelancers, for independents, for people that either just work at home and want to get out of their house and out of their jammies once in a while and work in a social environment, work in a collaborative environment, or for people who work in a corporate environment but want to separate themselves a little bit and go into a creative environment where they can collaborate with their peers, try out new ideas, or just work in an environment that's a little bit more energetic than maybe the normal corporate cube.
Okay. Who's all taking advantage of this co-working?
Well, right now, I'll let you jump in too, but right now we have a pretty healthy mix of people, of individuals who are starting companies, small internet development shops, healthcare companies, web development shops, along with some of the traditional Tampa freelance crowd, graphic designers, web developers, copywriters, and that sort.
Okay. So have you got the place filled up yet? I mean, how long has it been going for?
It's been going for about a month now, and it's because it's a very open environment. It's not like an executive suites where we're selling real estate or blocking out cubes. It's a very open environment. There are no walls. There really is just an open workspace, kind of a bullpen, with a lot of different desks that can be moved together or separated apart. So it's meant to be a very collaborative environment. We're kind of hosting virtual companies that sometimes people will come in 2 or 3 at a time, sometimes they'll stay at home or come in just for team meetings. So it's a very, very open environment where people can come and go as they please. So really the number of people that we can have as members is a fairly large number because we'll be operating at least initially 5 days a week during normal business hours. We can accommodate a lot of people, almost in a health club type of a model where people come and go as they please, stay for an hour, stop in for coffee, see who's there, or come and stay for the entire day. It really doesn't matter to us. It's about getting people together and providing more peer-to-peer contact so that people can see who else is out there, what they're working on, offer work, pick up work, or just get better ideas by moving those ideas around in a collaborative environment. People work well at home because they need their quiet time, but they miss that collaborative space, and they miss that collaborative opportunity. And people get better ideas when there's other people around them working on things, even if it's their own things. It adds to the creative juices of being in a creative environment.
Mm-hmm. And you touched on about the executive suites, because that was one of my questions before. How are you guys different? But like you just said, there's a lot more space and availability. And it's not much of doesn't cost as much as renting out the executive suites.
For freelancers in particular, people who are working out of their home, an executive office suite isn't really what they're looking for because they're not trying to replace their home office. They're trying to either, one, find a place where they can interact with other professionals, they can do a little head down, they can get some of that water cooler action, but also if they have clients, they want to have meetings. They don't want to have it at their home. They don't want to have it at Starbucks or Panera, but they need that conference room space. So that's part of that workspace environment that they want to take advantage of. So it's very different from an executive office suite where you're physically there long term. You have a door and a mailbox and things of that nature.
What kind of amenities do you guys offer? Do they get fax machine,
coffee,
secretary?
Wi-Fi, printer? It's kind of a Panera coffee shop environment, and a lot of the co-working that's popped up around the country actually starts in a coffee shop and then moves to more of a destination like we've established. Because co-working really, it's a noun and a verb. It is what you do is co-working, and it's also where you go. We've been doing co-working at a local coffee shop for about 1.5 years now in a very informal environment, and realized as we watch the rest of the communities and in cities where this has taken off, Austin and Seattle and San Francisco and New York, we realized that Tampa really needed a facility like this, that the freelance community is out there, both as freelancers wanting to work on their own stuff, but also companies that are incubating below the surface that can't quite break out because they don't know who to talk to, what to do, where to go, we realize that having a facility like co-working lets these people come together and start to form those ideas, vet those ideas, make some mistakes, but do it in a very friendly, productive, collaborative environment.
The other thing, too, is because we're so young, we're trying to let the community dictate what things they want next. We're trying to start with the basics and then talk more with them and see what kind of things do you need. Do you need a podcasting room? Do you need printer access? What are the things that you need to help you move your business along, whether it's just a one-person freelance operation or whether you're trying to start and build something? What are those next steps of services? And I don't think we want to make those choices for the community. We want to kind of, again, in a collaborative way, start to have that dialogue with them and see what do they need, what needs aren't being met, so we can try to fill them.
We're looking at other communities around, as I mentioned, Seattle and
Yeah.
Austin and places like that, and looking at the amenities that they offer and how they've grown those amenities over time, very much on an as-needed basis driven by their communities. But we also see in a number of communities where co-working is being driven by economic development. A few and far between, but economic development in some of the more progressive cities look at co-working, understand that companies start from individuals. Companies don't just pop up or move here out of nowhere. And certainly old school economic development of moving big companies from one city to another and playing that shell game, that day is over. The big companies aren't growing anymore. They're not adding a lot of people. It's really the investment in the small companies. And those small companies come from the freelance and creative community. They come from individuals working together on an idea, and co-working is a perfect venue for that. We're not the venue for that, but it just gives people a better outlet. And we've seen that happen in Philadelphia and in Austin, where they've actually graduated companies out of co-working into becoming new tech startups.
Wow.
Sure.
I can only imagine the networking opportunities too, because you got people from all walks of life in different industries coming in utilizing it, correct?
Well, part of what's interesting for the creative community is they don't get enough contact with those startup companies, those entrepreneurs who are looking for help, trying to figure out how to get their brand up, how to get their look and feel right, how to attract those first customers. They're too big for some of the bigger agencies, but they need that freelance kind of one-on-one environment. So it's a good way to start connecting those two groups of people. It's going to add value to the creative community, but it's also going to add value to those businesses who are starting up, because hopefully they'll be better as they come to market at marketing, at branding, at some of those things that traditionally they haven't been so hot at.
It's a different type of networking than Tampa's used to. It really is grassroots. It's not CEO to CEO
Correct.
or sales guy to sales
Right.
guy. It's peer level. It's someone that you trust, vetting an idea, sharing something maybe a little bit personal to you, because it's your baby, and no one likes to share ideas when they think someone's going to take off with something. So there's a trust involved. There's a certain amount of you understand because you walk in my shoes as a creative person or as a web designer or a developer. So that really is the environment that co-working fosters, and those type of conversations can happen when you have that level of peer-to-peer relationship.
How do they get involved?
Our web address is ideafield.org. All of the services and amenities are there. You're able to sign up. You can follow us on Twitter at IdeaField. Those are the easiest ways to find us.
Okay.
Cool. I think
Nice.
it's great. I'm definitely going to come by sometime soon here.
And on Fridays, we encourage people to stop in. We do what's called Free Fridays, where you don't even have to be a member. You just drop in on Fridays, get a feel for what the environment is about, meet some of the people that hang out there, and just get a taste for co-working Tampa style.
Do you have like free jelly on Fridays or something, or is that something
Jelly
else?
jelly is also a term that is used about co-working. Jelly is where you just jam a bunch
But
of
we
people
do have
together.
jelly donuts.
We do have
jelly
donuts.
donuts.
Exactly.
So it's just you jam a bunch of people together in a coffee shop or in a condo, and you just you work together and collaborate together. So that's where the term jelly came from, and then co-working, and we turned it into a noun, made it a destination, and we hope that people will take advantage of it.
Where is it located?
Tampa Heights.
Okay.
Cool.
Just if you guys are familiar with Cafe Hay, we're a few blocks north of Cafe Hay.
Okay. Great. And that's IdeaField.
IdeaField.
Good.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks a
Thank
lot
you.
for
Thank you
coming
for
on
having
the
us.
show. And
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for starting it. I think Tampa needs something like
Oh
this.
yeah.
We
In
appreciate
this
it.
economy, yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, and we'd like to thank our sponsors, TBT, Tampa Digital Studios, Barefoot Wines and Bubbly, and Gasper's Grotto. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next segment.